Hey guys, it's Play Lives here today, again, with another review. I picked up this bootleg Mega Drive cart a couple months ago, and it's got 8 games on there, so I thought I'd pop it in and take a look at it. We got things that says Tetris, Alex Kidd, Columns, Super Volleyball, King of Peacock, which is Mystic Defender, if I'm not mistaken, Soccer, which is World Cup Soccer, Rambo 3, and Trampoline Terror. Now, this game does not have a select screen. It kind of cycles through each game, so you pop in the game, boom, up boots up Tetris, and you just press reset. It'll go to the other games in the row, like it'll go from Tetris to whatever the fuck the next game is, like volleyball, then soccer, then Alex Kidd or whatever. So let's break these up game by game and take a look at them. Yeah, so Tetris, very basic game, you know. Not a whole hell of a lot to say about Tetris that hasn't been said by everyone else before. Communist game, you know, all that fun stuff. And this is just a mediocre port of Tetris. It's okay, it's got the 2-player action, and it's Tetris, really. There's not much more I can say about it. It's a world-famous puzzle game that absolutely everyone has played, whether you're a gamer or not. Columns. Columns is Sega's answer to Tetris. It's their big and simple puzzle game. Their, flagship puzzle title that they just want to get not so hardcore gamers in and playing the Genesis/Mega Drive. I prefer this to Tetris. I think Tetris is just too bland and boring. The jewels are a lot more appealing to me than these little colored blocks that aren't even the nicest colors to begin with. You pretty much have to line up 3 of each jewel, and then they'll disappear and fall down, and make other combinations of 3. Every so often you'll go up a level once you've cleared enough jewels, and it'll be harder. It'll just go faster. You'll probably get crappier moves, less time to react, of course, all that fun stuff. It just keeps getting harder, but after about level 4, it starts alternating, so you'll have a really fast level, and then it'll slow down for a little bit, and it'll give you a break. I really like that, so during that break period, I like to set up a lot of big moves, and then just unleash them when I hit the next level, and it just gets too fucking hard. So, pro tip right there. Set yourself up for the fast levels, because you're going to probably need it eventually. Alright, next game that we got up here is King of Peacock, or as a lot of people might say, Mystic Defender. I have actually not played this, so I don't know if it's a bad version. It definitely looks like it could use some cleaning up, but this is King of Peacock. This regular old dude, some special monk or whatever, shooting power waves and little balls and shit at random enemies. You get hit, you take damage, you got your little life bar. I like that aspect of it. You don't just instantly die. That's cool. And even when you do die, with your leftover lives, you just respawn right back where you were. It's not really like the game restarts and you're at that point again. Say you're playing a boss. He's got 1 hit left, you got 2 lives, and you're just about to lose that life. Boom, you lose that life. You come back, you just, cock slap that fucking boss, and he is down for the count. Peacock, or as a lot of people might say, Mystic Defender. I've not played this, so I don't know if it's a bad version. It definitely looks like it could use. It's a good game. It's definitely a surprise favorite of mine on this compilation disc, or compilation cart, I should say. Rambo 3. I gotta say, this game is really, really hard. You die in 1 hit immediately. There's so many enemies on screen. I'm playing this on easy, and I just think it's way too effing hard. You pass the first level, but I was losing so often that this can't be. I'm not that bad of a gamer, I know retro games are harder, and I kind of my skills lack when I play newer games, but it was just too hard, so I went into the options and I set up the lives, and turns out when you lose a life, then you just immediately come back into the action. So you're armed with your machine gun, your knife, and you can collect arrows for your bow and arrow, and also bombs to deal heavy damage to walls and turrets and random people hiding behind shit. So it's a really hard game, but it's fun. I definitely recommend that you crank up your amount of lives when you start playing this game, if you ever do. It's pretty good, but like I said, it's really hard. One thing that I think is just really dumb with it, though, is when you're walking up, it doesn't just, show your character's legs moving underneath them. It sort of flips the top half and the bottom half of the sprite. So legs are in the front, legs are in the back, legs are in the front. So it's kind of like your character is limboing, then standing straight, limbo, stand straight, limbo, stand straight, or is rolling or some shit. It's stupid. That is my biggest complaint about this game, is the difficulty and what the fuck is he doing when he's running up. But it is nonetheless. Alright, Alex Kidd. So before Sega had Sonic, they had Alex Kidd, and he was their big mascot for the Master System. Well, this is his only game that he ever appeared on, for the Sega Genesis. I'm pretty sure it's his last standalone game that he was the main character of. And a lot of people are going to hate me for saying this, especially a lot of older people, but good riddance. I don't like the Alex Kidd games. I just think they're incredibly boring. Your character, it's cool. He dies in one hit. He doesn't really have that many collectibles. Jonkin, why would you have a game where everything is so random where you use rock, paper, scissors? I just don't get the aspect of that. It's not that this game is too hard for me. I've beaten like the first 5 or 6 levels, and it doesn't grab me at all. It's just really boring. You have to have grown up playing the Alex Kidd games, I think, to truly appreciate them, because I'm big on retro, and this is just boring to me. Like, really boring. It's not a hit. It's probably the crappiest game on this compilation. Super Volleyball. This is actually one of the first Genesis games I ever played. I remember I went over to my buddy's house, first time I ever played Genesis. We played Altered Beast, E-SWAT, and Super Volleyball. Odd combination of games to have, but all rad. Kinda. E-SWAT was okay, in my opinion. But Super Volleyball, very fun. A lot of fun with another person to play with. Very basic. You just bump your shit, jump in the middle. Or what more can you do with one character and 3 buttons on a small little volleyball court, really? It did all it could. I honestly have fun with this game, and for a sports game, it ain't half bad. And for a volleyball game, there's not a lot of volleyball games to choose from. It's one of the best ones. It's up there. It's good. It's enjoyable. So, get in on it. And the other sports game on here is World Championship Soccer. It's soccer. Really, there's a whole bunch of FIFA games for the Genesis / Mega Drive. There's this, there's other couple random soccer games, I'm pretty sure. But this game is just mediocre. It falls in the middle. There's not really a bad soccer game market. They're all pretty fun. They're all almost the same. But, if you're into any other soccer game on the 16-bit console, you'll probably be into this. It's not a standout title. There's only one soccer game back then that actually stood out, and that was Mega Man Soccer. And this is not Mega Man Soccer. But soccer, really, there's a whole bunch of FIFA games for. Sports games are cheap. You get it for $1. Mega Drive. And another surprisingly fun game that I found on here was Trampoline Terror. It's got my favorite little intro to it. It's so simple, but the bottom and top half of the parts of the screen are bordered with flames and then just boom, it pops out. Trampoline terror. The idea of this is you're supposed to flip these multiple switches on a platform in the middle of the air. So your character's running around, he's picking up his little Powerball things, and you throw them at numerous monsters. There's a whole bunch of monsters in the game. Throw to the monsters, take out the monsters, and you can pick them up again, but if you throw them on a trampoline tile instead of like a regular walking tile, it'll just keep bouncing, so it may bounce off the edge and you may lose your attack weapons, so, you know, be careful when you use them. Another thing is the regular paneling. There is regular paneling, but there's also these sort of flash panelings where it'll appear in one spot and then move to another and then go back to the other spot and then appear in the other, so make sure that you're paying attention. Those are yellow. The trampolines in this game, you jump a lot higher. You keep bouncing from one to another when you hit one, but you land on solid ground and you can just walk across them nicely. You can only jump on a trampoline a set number of times. It'll change color every single time so that you know, but once you jump on that red trampoline, it's gone. It's not coming back, so, you know, jump wisely again. It's a fun game. Definitely a game that I recommend checking out because it surprised the shit out of me. It's fun, and I'm going to go play it again. So, in closing, got 8 games here. Did a quick review of all 8. And this, you know, bootleg cart. The only thing I actually had a problem with, because it all fit on here quite nicely. Everything looked fine from the games that I've played before. Everything sort of transferred over really well. Rambo, the way he walks up, that was a problem. I don't know if that's in the original version, but if it is, that's just fucking stupid. And Alex Kidd, I didn't mention this during the video before, but it has unlimited lives in this cart, so, you know, if you want to ever blaze through Alex Kidd, come over to my house, we'll pop this in, and you'll never die. But anyways, I'm Play Lives. Do what you gotta do to get your game on.